Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamakua Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany and today we are water bath canning. The inspiration for today's video, Hershey's chocolate syrup on top of ice cream. And so we got to thinking, what can we do at home to achieve the same goal of having that chocolate sauce drizzled on ice cream, but do it safely? And so I started digging through my canning books and I found one. Today's recipe is chocolate raspberry sauce. Most chocolate sauces are not safe to can at home. This is due to the fact that it is a very low acid food. But through careful testing, Ball has come up with a tested and approved recipe. It involves a bunch of raspberries, and due to the raspberries' high acidity level, it makes this recipe safe to can at home. So let's get started. First off, you're gonna want to make sure that your water bath canner is nice and warm because this recipe goes by pretty quickly. In a medium bowl, combine half a cup of sifted cocoa powder, with 1 packet of powdered pectin. I don't have packets, so I had to weigh it out. It's 57 grams. Stir these together and set it aside. Now let's move over to the stove. In a large saucepan, combine 4½ cups of crushed raspberries, along with 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. Store-bought lemon juice. When you use fresh lemons off your tree, there's no way to easily or conveniently know that they are acidic enough to make this recipe safe. This goes with all water bath canning. So if you use store-bought lemon juice, the acidity level is guaranteed. Now add your cocoa and pectin mixture. Whisk until dissolved. Bring this to a boil over high heat, stirring frequently. Then add in 6 3/4 cups of sugar, all at once. Bring this up to a full rolling boil. Then allow it to boil for a full minute, stirring constantly. Now the stirring constantly part is extremely important in this particular situation. Just like with jams and jellies, it can mess up the set, the texture, it can burn your sugar, all kinds of crazy things can happen if you don't stir it constantly. So make sure you don't have any distractions around you when you start this project. After that 1 minute is up, remove it from the heat, skim off any extra foam, and then put it into your canning jars. Ladle your sauce into your half-pint jars, leaving a 1/4 inch headspace. So this recipe says that it's making 8 half-pint jars, which is plenty of chocolate sauce if you ask me. Just like with any jam or jelly, you want to do this fairly quickly because we're dealing with pectin and sugar and all kinds of delicate ingredients. Now our jars are full, so we are going to use vinegar to clean our rims. That sticky chocolate syrup, we don't need that interfering with our seals. Our jars are piping hot and we kind of want to keep it that way for when we get it into the nice hot canner. So we're going to make sure that there's no chocolate sauce, no raspberry seeds, no sugar, nothing on there. Make sure it's nice and clean. Now we can place our lids on top This is very sticky, ooey gooey, so I urge you guys to be extra careful. Now we're gonna put on our rings, fingertip tight. You don't want them too loose so they're flopping around, and you don't want them too tight to where it's gonna hang on to that lid too much without the air coming out, because then it's just going to buckle. Now get your hot jars into your hot canner. Our jars are in the canner. Now we're just gonna wait a couple more minutes for it to come back up to a full rolling boil. Then we're gonna set our timer. Now the timing on this recipe is full rolling boil for 10 minutes. After your 10 minutes is up, go ahead and take off your lid and turn off the heat. Step away for a good 5 to 10 minutes. We don't want our jars coming down to room temperature too quickly. That increases your risk of thermal shock. And siphoning. That is one of the major reasons why people have siphoning, is because of too rapid change of temperature. You go up too quickly or you go down too quickly. That's when you're gonna have a lot of liquid loss. Well, it's one of the major reasons. Every canner load seems to be different. Each canner also very different. Each canning person very different. Very mindful. So now that your time is up, you can go ahead and take your jars out of your canner. Leave them to set out on a nice cozy spot for 24 hours. After that 24 hours, you can go ahead and take your rings off. Test your seals, make sure they're nice and tight. Wash up your jars, label them, and put them back up on your pantry shelf. I think we're gonna need to do a taste test. Incoming taste test. Taste test. It's been like a week. It's more of like a jelly. I don't know if you can see. It's not syrupy. It's like a jelly. Here we go. It's pretty solid. Yeah. So first you get hit with the raspberry, then comes a little bit of chocolate. I think I'm gonna apply a little bit of heat to see if we can make it like into a syrup, because that's what we were looking for, syrup. All right, well, you don't have to heat it up to make it more of like pourable. All you gotta do is stir it with a spoon. But if you want to, you can heat it up and then it will become a little more liquidy, and that's okay too. Whatever, stick it on top of your ice cream, you'll be fine. So that's gonna do it for today. I hope that this inspired you guys to dig in through your canning books, the ones that you know that are safe and tested, and find those creative, fun recipes. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Hamakua Homestead. I'll see you again soon.